Salutations. My name is Sultan, and I am welcoming you to the second session of The Stain on His Hide by the Zealots of Burbio. Listen as this peculiar story unravels, and they are given their quest, a quest of dire importance and innumerable magnitude. Join the heroes for their impetus in the spiritual battle as they get their first taste in the Aether Realm. And tune in next Saturday for the next episode of The Stain on His Hide. Enjoy.
In the city of Perth, in world different than Earth, it is said that the world will end with amorphous time. We see the world in moral gray, our brows are furled. Join us now on this mystical ride. See our world of the stain on his hide.
You go until you actually reach a small village, which you know as Windwell.
Oh, Windwell.
And it's like a village within Perth. Perth is like a city, but it's
Gotcha.
a village within. And
Is Perth a country or is it a city?
Perth is a city.
Gotcha. But it's a city with a bunch of towns in the cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like an amalgamation of
Towns.
So kind of like...
called sectors.
Oh, okay.
So it's like there's the Stonekeeper sector, the Wild sector, the Zakhar
Oh!
sector, the Bull sector.
Got
kind
you,
of thing.
got you.
And
And then
those
there's
are each
me.
like kind of towns in their own, but they make up the bigger city. And the city is governed by the dynasty.
Yeah, my
Yes.
And then there's me, who lives over
Who's a freaking hobo like me?
here.
Yes, he's
I
like
live
an
here.
outlier.
Have
Yes.
I been there? As a
You've
recent
lived there
hobo
a lot.
myself.
I'm gonna say roll for.
Would I know him? Because would I have seen
You would
him in
not.
action?
You would not know.
No, but like
I'm
Who's
gonna
that
say roll.
roll what? Nimble, book smart.
Just roll and add 5.
Oh, 5. Gotcha.
8.
So yeah, you would have been there before.
I have +2 in spoil though, but does that decrease at all?
Oh. I'm gonna say actually that would decrease it for sure.
So
So yeah,
from
no,
8 to
you know of the
6.
place,
From
and you
8 to
know,
6.
but you've always thought like, it's not a place for me. Those
Yeah.
people are weird.
Yeah, like me.
Like also like a lot of hermits are seen as.
I may be homeless, but I have not lost my dignity as an artist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sure. That's good.
They're outcasts.
What is this?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like this Superman.
Ah, so
voice-
Just a bunch of weird old people that live in a tower. That's pretty much it.
This
I'm
Superman
the youngest
voice
out
is
of all of them because
So-
I'm 30.
What
No,
the
there are young people there, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm like of my age. I think I'm like a young adult, 22 maybe.
Cool.
Oh, I'm 30.
I haven't thought about that
I'm
yet.
like
Alright.
mid-30s.
I'm 90. I'm dead. Take
alright.
that, motherfucker!
Alright,
so you
so-
move on to Windwell. None of you have really frequently visited this place because it's within the forest.
Gotcha.
But your character would have been here a few times.
Within
but it's
the
like,
forest. This
yeah,
is
it's
within
within the Woodwinds, which is the forest area of Perth.
We're not safe here. They'll continually chase
Well, we're
us.
safer.
Yes, we are safer, but they're gonna continue.
So, yeah,
we
so-
haven't escaped them just yet.
In this place, everyone looks like. It's mostly made up of peasants. Everyone looks really tired and unamused. There are some people in very pristine white robes that are walking through, and you'd recognize them.
I see this as my chance to rejoin the upper class. I take out my scarf at the
Nice,
floor. It's like
nice, yes.
like hello, ladies. Look at my style.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, and these people
What
have
about
like,
the lady?
their noses high and.
Oh yeah, the
perfect
lady.
posture.
I
Yes.
forgot we saved somebody.
Yes.
I was too busy.
So
too
this
busy
lady,
running.
her name is Jane.
Jane.
She introduced herself as Jane, and
Nice to meet you, Jane.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay, so at this point, I'm just asking the peasants or anyone. It's like, is there anyone willing to help this woman, this kind woman, or
She's like
something?
She's like, I live very close to here. I live in Windwell. I need to quickly find my stuff and leave. I can't live here anymore.
Ah, this is Windwell,
Yes, this is Windwell.
but you need healing.
She can get healing when she's out of the city. As long as we're here, we are not safe.
My life has changed so much. I normally would have went to my husband for this, but now he's been taken by them too, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, I do. We need to get out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah, follow me to my hut. And so yeah, you go.
You're
through-
trying to flex, and then I'm here.
Kind of.
I'm here trying to like help.
Hey, I'm trying to help too, but it's my show-off side. My flamboyance is
good.
coming through. But so wait,
So yeah, in the center of
hold
the
on.
city.
hold on.
Oh yeah, okay.
After following her,
Yeah.
I look around because like I've never been here before, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if any of these people are connected with people who are following us. So I'm looking for anyone suspicious, basically.
All right.
That's
It
cautious.
doesn't.
right?
You don't recognize any of the
No?
two people that were chasing you, and no one has like the dirt or anything.
Is
on their face.
anyone acting weird, like watching us or like?
Well, people. Yes, there are definitely people watching you, but it's mostly just like really bored peasants because this is an interesting thing.
The
in their
scarf,
boring
the
lives.
beret.
Yeah, exactly.
This is normal for them.
This is not normal. Like people don't usually pass through here, especially with the person that's like bleeding. It's not a.
But they're
common
not
person.
amused or anything.
They're
They're not aroused. Or like they're
No, they're not like.
I hope they weren't aroused,
aroused.
Jeremy.
I don't mean. I think you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Man, they are
No,
very
like,
aroused
they're-
right now.
They look really bored and tired and exhausted, but this does seem to be catching their interest a little bit,
Okay, so I don't act on it.
as anyone normally would.
I
Neither do
attempt to. I attempt to help
Yeah.
Jane.
Yeah, so she leads you a little bit like into the forest, a little bit more. Like it's to the edge of Windwell, and you can see that there's this hut on stilts. That's like it's like one room kind of thing.
Is she a witch?
And it looks like she's a witch. No.
The letter! Kill her! Down with the witch.
Yeah, and witches here in this world are heresy. So.
So yeah,
that would make sense.
you kind of like head up some stairs. It's like a wooden hut. It actually looks really nice. Like there's some like red and green roofing, like straw or something like that. And she goes inside and like she like grabs a bunch of stuff and like packs it into a bag. And she's like, we need to go quick. She's like
I know.
fretting and like really scared.
I know. I've been one of them before.
You've been one of them?
You are. Is he here?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
I'm in the room. I heard you say you've been one of them.
Yeah.
I-
And then
I'm-
I say nothing after, and I continually attempt to help her as well.
Nice.
Is she acting more on guard because he said that little tidbit of information?
She was kind of like taken back by that, and then she's like, helping me.
Well, it's past tense, so...
Yeah, and so she grabs her stuff and
Right
she
now?
like.
I help her pack up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna say roll nimble
Nimble?
to help her, and I will roll nimble for her.
What
Yeah,
about
in her
me?
haste, she's
I'm
not
al-
great. Oh,
Four.
both rolled 3s. Okay.
I'm
Well,
also
plus one was
helping.
four.
So
Yeah, yeah.
what? I'm also helping. So yeet.
I'm gonna say that she also. I'm say.
Wait, what you roll, Jeremy?
10.
So.
She got a
10.
10.
Okay.
like, I'm fumbling about. He's like with like one finger. Boom,
Cool.
boom.
She's like. Right. Well, yeah, and so like you're going, you're packing and stuff. But she slows. She's pretty slow.
Do I see any paintings in the house?
Oh yes, you do.
Do I see any that I recognize by one certain art thief?
No, you don't.
Damn it.
Sadly, but no. This
We gotta
this
talk about
painting,
her backstory.
It's a very
today.
strange. It's a very strange. You don't need to talk about your backstory.
You don't have to.
Okay, it's a very strange painting. It has like a really nice wooden frame, like even wood or something like that. But it's like the painting is very bland. It's just a lot of whites and grays.
Is it from the Wolfgang family? From my father?
It is exactly. That's exactly what it is. It is from your Wolfgang family, and it's a lot of whites and grays and blacks. And it looks like they use a lot of like a positive and negative light, that kind of thing.
I give it a disdainful snort. Like, why would you have this disgusting, tasteless piece in your house?
She's like, my husband loved it. It reflects the wall of winter.
Where's the?
I'm
just pulling it up.
I shut up a bit, but under my breath, I just mutter a little disdainfully. Does he deserve to be kidnapped? Then I guess the place is trash.
Okay, yeah.
Like you know, not in the best relations.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're here.
You're here.
Oh,
It's
wind.
Winterwind Pavilion. This is Windwell.
So we have to get over there. Oh, I see.
So,
There's a map in the.
so she packs up and she's like, I have a place to go. I think I'm gonna stay at the Red Unicorn Inn for a few days.
Where?
It's in the Springs. I have some friends around that area, so I can try to get.
Will you be safe on the journey?
It's pretty safe, yes.
All right, that's
I'd
my
say
way.
the Springs are one of the safest.
I put my hand on Jane's shoulder. Say, "Take care. Go as fast as you can and run away from them." And then I continue going. There's a map in the room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I
And-
see. I
yeah.
see what our route is.
Also, so yes, so there's a map, and then also you can see that there are a bunch of like books. Do you wish to inspect the books, or do you just? Who cares?
Sure, I'd like to.
All right. So these books seem to be related to the wind wall a lot.
I'm just like looking at the painting, like just like brooding, like it's just boring, dull humanity. It's,
Do I know what the?
It's maybe at its lowest point. How is this anything amazing?
Do I know what the wind wall is?
You can roll book smart.
Ah, I may have +1 in street smart, but I am spoiled +1, so 6.
6, nice. So you know that the keepers of the wind wall.
+1 spoiled.
You actually know this because of your backstory mainly. The keepers of the wind wall are connected to the saved and connected to the Winterwind Whites, and she looks to be one of the Winterwind Whites. And this kind of like alludes to the fact that maybe there's like some kind of maybe the saved are going after people from the Winterwind Whites at this point, which is strange because they used to be all like one in the same, but now since they've split apart, maybe they're enemies now.
These make no sense. Okay, I'm muttering to myself. These make no sense. They were all friends once, and now they're killing themselves. What? They're fighting amongst themselves. There's infighting, and then I just like go and just.
Well, that's in the past now. We have to look forward. Now it's the future.
Look forward.
And by that I mean, where are we going next?
We must head to Hermiton for this. I steal it from
Yeah.
a letter
I'm like,
or whatever this
excuse
is.
me. Okay. So, as long as she remains safe, that's where she should go.
Yes.
She will go.
Let us go to Hermiton.
Cool.
quickly.
So yeah, you pass through. I'd like to draw this out, but I might
Fail miserably.
fail miserably. Exactly.
Draw a map.
It's not a map necessarily, but okay. So you walk through in order to get out. Since this was kind of like around there, the hut.
Yes.
You go through the center of Windwell, and inside you can see a sigil,
The same sigil of the.
and it is the same sigil. It is okay. So yeah, there's like a well with like a top, like a canopy kind of thing, and the well is made of white cobblestone. It kind of stands out because like everything else is kind of dirty and like poor in this place, but it looks
We
very
recognize.
pristine.
We recognize the sigil.
And this is known as the Windwheel, or the Windwell.
Between the wheel.
And yes, I will draw the sigil for you. Very shortly.
It's an upside down cross.
We
Oh
shall,
no! Oh
we
no!
shall
Oh,
engage
no.
in conversation in the meantime, in character, just for warm up.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, what brought you to the King of Limbs? Pariete.
I guess you could say the winds.
The winds?
The winds brought me. The winds brought me to
The winds.
the winds.
What do you speak of?
It's just a metaphor, my good sir. What do you mean by? Why are you so upset about the winds?
I was a part of them once.
I don't know what the winds are.
The Winter Wind Whites.
This is the sigil.
Do we recognize that?
You recognize it as being the sigil of the Winterwind Whites and the Keepers of the Windwall. They kind of both keep it because they both think that they're the true
Corlac
one that
followers.
deserves it kind of thing. So
If you want me to be more accurate, I guess you could say a brother called me here.
Ah, I see. Alright, so I recognize the sigil and I realize we're safer than before, and
I guess.
I decide to go and move to get back to my home, per se.
As
Alright,
he's
yeah,
walking, I take time to ponder the whole thing with the winter winds. And as he's going back, I quickly dart back to the house and grab a book on them.
Cool.
And then I run after him.
yeah, this one's called.
It was a very peculiar reaction.
Cool. This one is called Winter Flames.
Winter Flames. That's a really cool name. I'd say it.
Alright.
I don't notice he stole. I noticed he stole the book, or I don't.
But it looks like she just left her home behind.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, she just took what she needed.
It's for the taking.
Um,
Nah, I'm not gonna
maybe
take
not.
anything.
Maybe not for the taking, but like she wouldn't be mad.
It's not for the
because she's
ta-
leaving.
Hey,
so.
we saved her life. We deserve a little reward, even if it is just a book.
Yeah. So you continue on through the forest. You kind of get out of the forest. There's a bit of a clearing.
Do I get any cool locations to check out from the book as I'm like reading it as we go?
Oh, cool.
Like,
He's reading.
is it fictional at all? Or I guess it's non-fiction.
It is. a lot of lore. It's a lot of history, but a lot of it is it's a strangely written book, and the author is named Gubert Stans.
Gubert Sands. Gotcha.
Or something like that.
What's my reputation with Jane, by the way?
And yeah, Gubert Shans.
What about Jane? Or is she important?
Okay,
Does
yeah.
that matter?
So that's actually really good. I'm gonna say Jane is a +2 for reputation
Out of 10, right?
out of 10. Well, it can go +2 and then negative. Like it can go +10.
Currently, we're on the positive side.
You're
So
on the positive side.
I'll do out of 10 for now.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good way to write
we're
it.
still walking
Wait,
towards.
is he? Am I higher than him?
Yeah, Jane just kind of left. Like
Am I higher than him because I'm the one who rushed in to grab her?
I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Of course not. Because of situational stuff.
Sure. +3.
Plus 3? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that works. That works pretty well. All right, so yeah, so you go and you can hear preaching from someone on the bridge, and so you go and there's like some sand, like a little bit of a beach to this river, and then there's a big white cobblestone bridge that goes over the river, and you know that this is Windwile Pass. That's the name of the bridge, and there's this guy on the bridge. He seems to be like standing like preaching, and he's dressed all in red, like scarlet robes, very noble. And then he has like the sigil of the Waning Eye of Virel, like a yellow eyeball.
That's the bad one, right?
It's not bad. None of the gods are really bad.
That's the blue one. The one that's seen as bad.
No, that's the Raven.
Gotcha.
That's
The eye
that's
is
the
like
cold one.
the eye is.
The eye is the one that's talking about the future a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so he seems to be preaching, and he's like, and then he sees you guys approaching, and he's like, "Hark, hark! We must know exactly what we wish for, because the future is nigh, and the end is drawing near.
I ignored him.
And yeah, he just like, he's like really flamboyant about this, and it's clear he has not seen people for a little bit.
I don't pay attention to him, but I really like the color on his robe. I'm like,
I'm still
I don't like reds a lot, but that's a pretty good.
It's
robe.
like a really nice red.
It's like a nice.
It's very rich.
As we're
like,
walking,
it's expensive. This kind of red, this rich dye is like very expensive. You know that.
as we're walking, I just roll
But,
my eyes
like-
at the sight and then just continue on.
I like the color, but I also it's like it's wasted on such a fool.
Like reds, purples, and whites are like the most
Prominent.
like not prominent. Actually, the opposite. Those are like the most rich.
I have a couple
colors.
berry guys.
Those are like the rich. Like they have to have like really obscure dyes and that kind of thing that are like really richly crafted. And so you have to be very rich. You have to be like high ups to have that kind of thing.
I just ignore him.
Cool. Yeah. So he passes by and he's like, "The end is drawing near." Like he's like he just continues preaching kind of thing. As you guys.
I just ignore him blissfully, not in a ignored way, but just blissfully. I ignore him, and I just. I choose not to.
The color is wasted on such a fool.
Also,
You make that comment to me.
Yeah.
for reference, you would both know of this man as being the Nova Priest.
The Nova Priest?
Yes.
That's like a star?
Yes.
Oh.
And he's of the Starlight Dynasty. Or the Starlit Dynasty.
He clearly hasn't seen many people yet. For a while.
No. He's been stuck in a basement for too long.
Yes. Why would he choose to go at such a road not traveled?
So yeah, you go and there's a fork, like a three-way fork, I guess. So you can go from here to the northeast, to the southwest, or to continue going east. I will bring up the map so that you can see.
Oh.
Which way do you wish to go?
We're going to Hermiton.
Yeah, let's go to
So you decide to go that way. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, the
Northeast.
It's kind of like yeah. Let's go there.
We're heading to Hermiton.
Which way have we found? The white man is the true.
Actually, also I should say, Jane is still with you.
Oh,
it
she
wouldn't
is?
make sense for her to have gone.
Oh,
'cause she's going on the same path as you.
I thought.
She's heading to Hermiton?
So yeah, she has all of her stuff. She's been relatively quiet because she's like clearly scared, and she keeps looking over her shoulder this whole time. And over the bridge, she just stays quiet and like kind of.
Calm yourself.
goes in.
As long as you're with us, no harm will befall you.
Thank you. I really.
They don't chase
My
many
life is
people.
falling apart right now.
They don't.
I understand. I understand. I understand the notion.
And yeah, so you continue that way, and then there's another crossroads where you can go to the east, and that's
where she
towards
said.
Springs. And so she breaks off from you there, and she's like, "I'll see you. I might be at the Red Unicorn. If you want to come by, you can meet me there."
No problem.
Farewell.
We shall see each other again. Toodaloo.
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 She's like,
Toodaloo.
Farewell and be safe.
And yeah, she
How is he-
goes, and she
how is
seems
he
to have
so-
like a limp, and she's
A
like,
limp? Oh.
she's not in the best state right now, but she'll probably get help.
Do I have a... Actually, hold on. Do I... No, that's not anything to do.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
I'm not using this.
you as you walk towards Hermiton, it seems like a long walk. There's like open prairies kind of thing around you. It starts to get more hilly, and you can smell like a really nice homely smell of baked bread as you walk past the springs. It's very nice. And then like as you walk through, there's some like peach trees around.
So, like,
It's a really nice walk. You've been here, like you've been
Many
on this walk many
times.
times. It's very nice. You probably also meditated in some of the trees.
Yeah.
I see. Like I see all this, and I'm kind of just like
Okay,
whistling, like
so-
put like the journal back page, graphite out.
Nice.
At this moment, I just harvest some of the peaches as I walk by. Do I need to roll anything for that?
No, I'm just gonna say
a
like,
peach check.
Yeah, like-
what did
you
even
got peach,
imply?
yeah, the skill peach.
Yeah, peach.
How do you feel, Jeremy? Peachy.
I'm gonna say roll a peach. check.
Yes.
Oh.
What?
No! I learned another skill. Peach.
No, peachy. Feeling peachy. Feeling peachy. That's a skill. Feeling peachy.
Feeling peachy.
Feeling peachy.
3.
That's
plus
amazing.
3.
I'm just gonna say that can be a
What
general skill.
What does that do?
That's a general skill. In any situation you need to use a stat for peaches, you can do that.
If the name's called Feeling Peachy, does it have something to do with invested and cool?
Actually, yes, cool. That can be a cool check. Feeling peachy.
Feeling peachy.
Plus 2 then.
Nice.
you grab
Oh.
the peach. The peach blew up.
That's amazing.
So basically, I can do anything I want with peaches. Like I can make it. I can just like turn it into food added.
You are a master chef.
That's amazing. All right. Wow.
This is supposed to be serious.
Wait,
That's
so I
funny
got a
to
plus
do.
4. So do I just fail miserably? I got a plus 4 for that. So do I just like fail miserably, or I still harvest it?
Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna say you got the peaches. Like that's like easy. Like anyone can do that. You kind of like. I'm gonna say you got a rope burn on the peaches like fuzzy skin because you just didn't expect for it to be that fuzzy anymore. And so it's like, oh, and then now you know. Next time you will not do that. You will not get a rope burn on the peaches.
You okay, Shinjai? You feeling peachy?
Do not worry. I am fine.
His hands are so like, your hands are that of a baby. They're
Yeah.
soft and like untainted.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that freaks out.
All right, let us continue.
Skills over.
All right, yeah.
Wow.
Let
So-
us continue to
So you
Hermitage.
continue. It starts to get really hilly on your right, and then on your left, it's like still just the river, kind of following beside the river.
Is night falling?
Night. It's like roughly the evening. Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock maybe.
Okay.
18,
18:00 to be exact.
yes.
Yes.
And so you go to Hermiton, and you can see that it's a giant tower made of wood, and there's stone kind of built into it. Its foundations are stone. It's kind of raised off of the ground. It's built on top of like a tall hill, and this is kind of like the end of the road. And then you can see that there's a spire on top, but there's no smoke coming from the top, which is strange because normally there is. And then also it looks like the big door that's in the front is barred off, and all the windows are like closed off. And last time you were here was maybe like a week ago, and it's like everyone was there. So
And here, Periete, is where I live with some of my people. However, you did mention something peculiar, but for another time it will be. I attempt to open the door after.
yeah, so it's locked and barred off. Like there's wood keeping it closed.
What? All right.
What's this one? No, this one. The B.
I will.
All right. So at this point,
I didn't read rule 3, so.
do I know people are around? Do I know people are around, or is it desolate and absolutely no one is there?
Sorry, what?
Do I know that people are around, or is it just desolate, like no one's there? Like there's no one here.
Yeah, there's no one here. It's desolate.
We seek to know
What are you doing?
where the true harbinger is.
Alright, so I see him do this. While I'm distracted, I go to the door.
We
Finally,
have kept
I
our
think-
eyes vigilant.
I take the shiv out of my hat. the dirk.
And we have come to the rolling hills of Hermiton.
All right, try to pick the lock with steady hands.
Steady hands. Yeah, because we have that skill.
Yes.
So that's a nimble +1 +1 because
Yeah.
all the check.
So two.
Does anyone
7,
respond to my
nice.
call?
9. Gotcha.
So no one responds. No one is. It's clear that no one is here. But as you finish saying that, the door slides open, and the bar like the wood is still there, kind of barring it off. But you can like climb under the wood, and he's like open. He has picked the lock.
It's subtle, so I'm trying to make it so he doesn't notice.
Oh, okay.
Cause
Yeah. So
to my knowledge, he doesn't know.
it just looks like he opened the door, and it was.
Why are you trying so hard?
It wasn't locked for you, but he has
Well,
a
it
knife
wasn't-
in his hand.
Shit.
Or do you have the knife?
It's
in
like
your
in
hand?
my.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How did you open the door?
The very earth must open to me, I guess. And I just ducked under.
You
and
roll
on
for
the side.
deception. I wouldn't believe that
Yes.
for a second.
Yes. Do that. Street smart versus deception.
Is that what's deception? Is that?
Ah!
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God it's close
So you
to
had
zero.
nothing.
Shit.
Oh.
Wait, what you get?
8 plus
One.
1, 9.
9?
1.
Okay, so what was that exactly for?
That was like that was for like.
What was that lying about?
I'm trying to lie that I know how to pick up on locks and I know how to I have a dirk. Lying about the other side of myself, I guess.
Okay, that's a skill.
I also knew where his
Deceit?
dirk was, right?
Deceit, yeah.
Oh, thank God I have no skills in that.
I knew that his dirk was like.
Yeah.
in his
I didn't know that though.
Yeah, you didn't know that, but he. Right, it's cool.
You fool.
I don't hear that. What's the skill called? Hiding the other side, I guess. Why not?
Yeah, sure, I like that.
You fool.
I don't hear him.
I knew you picked
I'm
the
inside. I'm inside. I don't hear him. La 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 la.
Okay, so I follow him and I'm like, you fool, I knew you picked the
Yeah,
lock
so
with
you can your see that all the books on the walls, which used to be
No.
very neat, and like there are windows that like shine in light very beautifully, and like there's dust, kind of like shines through the dust, so you can see the rays of light. But at this point, it's just so desolate. And,
Does
a
it
lot of
feel-
the books are out of the shelves, and like there's papers everywhere on the floor.
Does
and
it feel
it's very
off to
messy.
me? Does it feel really
It's
off?
very off.
Does my do my discerning eyes notice anything? Like, not discerning. Sorry. Do I see the big picture? Do I see the big picture?
You could try to,
I'll try.
and this is not good.
This is
And
terrible.
you kind of, I'm not sure if you in the metagame know, but you know
3. That's
kind of why this
That's-
could
that-
happen.
that's just
you
5.
You know kind of almost a reason for this.
That's 5.
By how they were acting before you left.
By how who was acting.
The hermits.
Okay, you have to tell me what's going on, because, like, oh, wait.
That's
the
5.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was 5. I got a 5.
For seeing the big picture. So, you get that they left. You don't know why. And this confuses you.
I wanted another one. My abstract point of view skill. I can see things from a different perspective.
Okay.
And I want to see not how they ran away, but who got in. And
Okay.
why they not why they left, but what got in. And kind of what
okay.
listen to that.
Yeah, do that. That's cool.
7 plus that's 1 and 2, so that's 8, 9.
So, fear got in.
They
Fear got in.
Fear got in.
Fear got in. I see that under my breath, but audible enough so he can hear it.
Cool.
Fear
What
got
do you
in.
mean?
Something happened, but I don't know exactly what. But look, the papers are out of order. Everything is not as it should be apparently. And there's no other struggle. No monster. Nothing is broken in.
There are no monsters in this
Exactly.
game, are there?
No
No
I'm saying monster in more of like
Yeah.
and no
Mm.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no,
Like how you'd
outside
use it in
thing.
real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing out of our realm of knowledge, or it's not something that man can do. It's an emotion.
It is
Only
good.
emotions can get to places where they weren't before. Emotions or feelings.
I was here before as well, and like I said, this was one of the places I would call my home. And if fear got in here, then that's very unfortunate because everyone left, and this is completely unusual.
Fear is what the darkness brings, and I emotion to the loss of the light in the area, and I keep on exploring.
I may know what has caused this. That preacher,
You think it was him?
the Nova priest,
You
the
thi-
waning eye of Virel. There was a bunch of rumors going around before where the eye would. Okay, you have to explain this basically because I'm explaining it to him.
So
They-
they keep foreshadowing something called Vernox Saval, which is like the world's end, or when the eye blinks is what they call it.
I just scoff.
Because for them, Virel.
This is me explaining. To
Yeah.
him.
The world will end when man screws up. When man causes it, not because of some god.
Because yeah, how they see it is the waning eye of
See.
Virel. The waning eye of Virel is like they see Virel as like Virel is an ancient word in the same language as Vernox Saval, in which it's like Virel means like the world, I guess, or like the future of the world or the existence itself, and the waning eye of that. The waning eye of Virel is like seeing the future of that, or seeing that kind of thing, and so that's why it's called that. And they believe that the world, Virel, is going to blink. The world is going to shut down. The world is going to die very soon, and so they're trying to preach about that. And as he's saying, those those that were preaching about
What's the
that
point of
have
preaching-
gotten into the heads of hermits.
What's the point of warning about something that's unavoidable?
It's unavoidable.
Well, if it's the end of the world, then why warn about it? You're only.
I know no one's around, right?
It's just me
Okay.
and him talking, right? Just me and him. Like, all you're going to do is create unrest in a society where there isn't any.
You mentioned something.
Hmm?
You mentioned that a brother sent you.
A brother sent me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what brought you to the King of Limbs?
And I cannot
What
say.
do you mean by that?
A family member. What else?
Are you sure?
Positive. And
Because if that's the case, a brother also sent you there. What is it?
I perk up and I'm like,
Okay, at
you
this
don't,
point,
you don't say.
at this point, my plus 3 weird is showing, and I'm just like looking at towards you. And I'm just like,
Uh,
what really brought you there, Periete?
I'd be breaking a very important rule that I did not read until recently.
Is that right? At this point, I show him the letter as well, and I'm like,
I am very mirthfully.
I have discernment too,
like-
so it's like,
I'm surprised. I'm amused. So I'm like, well, so I bring forth mine as well. Ah. Ooh. Oh, is this the
The crest.
the crest of the one? What was it called again? The Winter People.
No,
The wall.
That's a different.
Oh, different crest.
okay.
That's this.
Because at this point, I'm thinking we're being watched. I'm like, come out! I know you're here! Does anyone go?
It just echoes through the tower.
Oh.
So
Okay, so we're absolutely alone. Alright. Good.
I bring forth the letter, but I say nothing, because I didn't know about Rule 3 until today, so I'm just kind of like trying to hold through that now. So I just like stick that into my pocket, show like a knowing glance, and I keep looking.
I nod at him and in agreement. I'm like, we're fine.
Yeah. Dude, bros.
The
Yeah,
viral
bros.
is something we.
Hey, bros, yeah,
Nice.
gotcha. Hey, that was a not intentional pun, but I'm glad it happened.
I like how on the recording no one will know what happened if we ever post this or anything
We
like
need
that.
to explain
We won't,
what's
but
going
if we
on.
ever do, it's just like, what just happened?
What are
is
these
going
bros?
Yeah. The
Okay.
waning eye of viral is something that
They'll-
seems to
they'll
be an
warn
object
next
of
time.
fear as you speak. Oh wait, I need to repeat that. The waning eye of viral is something that you call fear as it seeks. And right now, it seems that fear is bringing society's end. Or at least the end of this tower.
Probably.
We need to find
There goes
wherever
my
these letters
seeing
are.
stones.
we need to find more of these.
More.
And then
What do you mean more of these?
can I start searching the papers for something? Like, you know how there's papers scattered and whatnot. Can I search for if there's anything, like, if there are more letters? Because that's obviously how they've been talking. Like, not only that, open the window so that wind can blow as well. Because that's how they've been communicating.
What colors do I have left? I threw my orange, my yellow, my green. I have like a purple.
Wait, so you open the windows.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
opening
so-
the windows and trying to see, like,
Yeah, as you're going through all these papers and stuff, you see a bunch of interesting stuff. A lot of it's like very boring, like, oh, nice, they're researching a squirrel's urinal system or something like that. Like it's like really weird. It's like really weird stuff.
obscure.
Very obscure. And then it's like, you start to hear like, what sounds like a very faint and distant wolf's howl.
The letter.
Yes! We have found it!
And it kind of, you probably wouldn't have heard it outside, but because of the way that like sound is captured within this tower, something that you actually really like, or most hermits really like about this tower is just the acoustics of the tower.
Yeah.
Like it like
I
echoes
love
through
how I
and-
can
and,
eavesdrop on everything.
Like, yes. And so because of that, it's like, you can hear that like the little, in the window being open, this sound kind of carries through the window and gets trapped inside this tower. And so you can hear it. Almost amplifies it.
I hear the wolf. I look at him, and like.
We have found it! Within the mouth of the
Yes.
wolf, you may... The man who guard that witch house, so his nature of frost may be biting, and his mind is the cornerstone of the
There-
future.
If there's a wolf, then let's go hunting, and I go after it.
The wise man
Let us go
that is the
hunting.
wolf is the true harbinger and will not eat your family. Let's go hunting, shall we?
Steal my lamb, why don't you? And I just go after him. I'm like, no, fine. You may sound way cooler than me.
It's night though, right?
Yeah, it's like 7 o'clock.
Do you want to sleep instead, or do you want someone to go for it?
If he is really the harbinger and will not eat
Are you sure it's an actual wolf?
and will not eat our family,
Because look at this. This is obviously torn off from something.
obviously, but the wise man.
The
It
wise
appear-
man is on there, but I don't think the wolf is supposed to eat your family. Maybe the wolf means something else, but it's just so
He-
far apart.
But this letter says it is clear that he will not eat us. He brings no harm. Let us go quickly.
Well,
If he brings protection, then we are protected already.
let's hope you're right. Now let's go after him.
Iera may be out already.
We're already
Ieria may be.
we're already gone. Let's go.
And then I'm muttering, Ieria may have already set. But before the eye blinks, she will rise every morning. And then I continue.
Cool.
So
I don't hear that. I'm out.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
So you travel into the hills. It leads you kind of like into the hills, and roughly about here, there's like a nice little valley in which you can really hear this, and it's like a howl, but it's continual. Like it does not stop. This howl is just like continual, and it sounds more and more like wind the more you get there.
I mean, I
you
guess
said the wind sent you, right?
that was a metaphor. That was just to sound mysterious.
Let us go.
Okay.
So
I have to cut clean, I guess. So it was a metaphor, man, just to sound cooler.
That's good. All right, so yeah, so you can see that like on this especially tall hill, in the night light, as it's like a little bit later, maybe like almost 8 o'clock at this point, or 20. It's like
It's actually 11:29, so shush.
okay, so you can see that it's like it's starting to get dark, and there's like a sunset, and it's actually quite beautiful, like something you'd want to sketch or paint or whatever. It's
I'm already on it.
Yeah. And so it's like there are like thin clouds, stratus clouds I think they're called, and then like the orange and red light kind of like reflects off of them and makes an outline for them, and it's really beautiful.
I curse my lack of color. I'm like, I put down.
Well, you have your berries.
I only have blue and purple left.
Oh right. Yeah.
So I just curse and I put like a note with like the colors that were like line, red, orange, whatever. And
Do I notice he's
the
doing
color-
this?
I see,
Yeah. So
Do I,
so
know-
like,
do I notice he's doing this?
Yeah.
Be wary, my friend. If the eye would really blink, Yera will come back. Don't worry. And then look, we continue. He doesn't understand a thing I'm saying. really.
I just want to paint. I just want to paint some.
The timing is
landscapes,
pretty good.
Exactly.
As the song ends.
Yeah.
This is all scripted, everybody.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Everyone, this is scripted. This is all live.
Alright, so we continue on. And then
All right,
keep
so
on howling.
yeah, so you continue. It's like up and down hills continually, and then you reach a point where you see a man, and he is in full white robes, and he has like really long hair that like goes down to like his hips, and like flows,
The wise man.
and he has like a
Jesus.
small like
Jesus Christ! Hey man, it's me. He responds. Hey guys.
he has like a
Hey, guys.
a man bun or something like that on top of his head with like really long flowing
Is he your
hair.
brother?
No, my brother doesn't have a man bun.
Is it you? You have a man
yes.
bun right now.
Seems like him. I'd imagine he would be this character.
Yeah. So yeah, he's sitting there in like a very meditative position, and you can hear that like you can actually even see the wind in this place because it's so strong. You can like it's crazy. It's like
How loud? Is it loud?
and it's really cold and really loud, and you can see that it's coming from his breathing. When he breathes out, the winds go,
He's obviously
And then when he
using some
breathes
kind
in,
of
and it like it's a continual like breathing in and out. It's
the
like very
wise
fluid.
man. The harbinger. He's obviously using evocation to do this, right? So, do I recognize that he is a brother?
No. I don't.
Can I
you
roll
don't-
for that?
I am. Okay,
I'm gonna say no because you don't know any traits that would
Distinguished brothers.
distinguish.
I see this, and I just feel like I smile to myself. I go across from him. I take a deep breath, and using my evocation magic, I try to match my breath with his.
Nice.
Okay.
So he's sitting on this hill, and then you're sitting on this hill, and then it's just like
Yeah.
try to match. Nice. Go for that.
Okay.
And
Natural
so
one.
would you? And so would you breathe in when he's breathing out, and then it would go like
Yeah,
back and
like
forth?
that.
He would when he recognize that's
It's
going.
beautiful.
When he recognize that's going on.
Maybe he'll like it. Who knows? We'll see.
He probably
Let's
would
roll.
recognize that.
Let's roll. All right. So weird. Just weird. Gotcha.
Okay, so while he's
10, 11.
Nice, nice. And then okay, so you're on this hill,
I'm not even that good at magic.
and then I yell, "You are the wise man, and you are the true harbinger. Will you eat us?"
You're being drowned out by the sound of the wind.
Yeah, he actually does not respond in any way.
Will you eat us?
And you've like added. I'm gonna say like a higher pitch, so it like harmonizes with the howling.
One thing to notice is that while he's in a meditative position, I'm sitting down lax.
Yeah,
Like I'm not like I don't have any form of dignity. I'm just like relaxing and doing it like
that's funny.
He is just casual.
yeah.
Okay, so
I'm also gonna have you roll invested.
And by casual I mean more like a artist pose, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Like it's more like
You should roll invested.
so I go up to this man with the
another 10.
Oh my god.
Plus 2.
That was to see if you like would continue it.
That's
Because,
12.
Like,
That's a 12,
it's
guys.
like a willpower thing in wanting to continue this because it's like not the easiest thing to continue, but
So-
you do, and you're like concentrated on this.
so I climb up.
I have a +1 over here. This should not be
It's
possible.
amazing.
So I climb up to him.
I'm gonna say you get a power. For that.
Ooh.
Yay.
What's the power?
You get to
Blowy?
choose from the power.
You can do a blowy now.
Blissful blowing.
A blowing's a blowjob.
Oh, well, that escalated quickly. We're gonna cut that out.
No. All right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. So,
The power that you get is specialization.
specialization, gotcha.
One skill you currently have can have a +2 rather than a +1.
Where should that be?
I'm gonna say like seeing the big picture, abstract point of view. Those would be the best ones for this.
Both of them
Yes.
or just one?
Which one?
So abstract point of view or seeing the big picture.
Okay.
Because of what's going on, it's not because like it's not abstract point of view. I'm with him. We're both in it in tandem. It's like the universe and the stars opening up to us. So yeah, +2 to see the big picture.
Okay,
Nice.
so I attempt to ask this guy.
You get blown off the hill. You just
Die.
Oh dear, I am small too, so. So.
Actually,
Oh no!
it's a little tough. Actually, just a whole.
That's not good!
You're
Okay, that's fine. That's a 6 minus 3.
your head
It's a
cracks
3.
open.
So yeah, you're kind of like blown back and you can't really keep your balance too well.
No.
But like you're able to, if you're able to sit, then you're able to be fine.
Yes.
Does the prophet notice does he notice or does he like just keep going? Does he make any sign of him noticing? Or?
He does not. He has not opened his eyes. He has not changed really what he's doing.
Okay, well then I'll just keep. I just keep
Wise
on,
man.
I keep on matching his rhythm.
Wise man!
He does not respond.
You're a 2.
How can I get him to respond? Okay, I'm not gonna
He's
metagame either.
deep in meditation.
If that is so,
Am
then
I
I will enter in it as
Am
well.
I meditating as meditating? Am I meditating? I'm
Yes.
saying that word a lot. Meditating.
Yes, I think it's meditating because like in real life I meditate and it's usually just it's all about just sitting, being at peace, and then like breathing
in your own way. Like for him, it's like.
And so for him, it's like
it's discipline. For me, it's an artist like.
yeah. So no, definitely.
Like canvas open, just like taking in the sights.
Yeah,
Even
and
though
that's what my meditation usually is too. So.
even though that is
Works.
happening, I will partake in it, despite Niera's current slumber.
All right, so
Do you want to try the blowing too?
No.
There's
That's,
3 ways,
that's
man.
out of my
yeah. It's,
that's out of my magic.
okay,
I
so
can't do it.
so you all meditate, and you stay there for like about a minute, and then you kind of like the world seems to fade and like fade around you, and then like you all close your eyes, and then you all open the eyes of your mind.
So cool.
And you can see
I'm
him.
not even a monk. I'm an artist.
You can see him standing on a cliff looking out with like his hair blowing in the wind.
Are we standing on things as well, or are we just
You're kind of like on this cliff as well, but not at the edge of the cliff. Like he's right at the edge of the cliff, and he seems to be like thinking. And then he looks back, and you can see that he's like, it's very strange how like his mouth is wide open, and he's like in this position kind of thing. And it's like almost a little bit unnerving, but at the same time, it's like. Yeah.
I'm a bit unnerved, but I keep on breathing relaxed.
We have arrived.
You have high weird, so it's not.
No, I have plus
Yeah,
one.
this is all
like
normal.
it's semi high.
Yeah, it's semi high. So it's a little unnerving for you. For you, it's like
Dude, it's semi high, but I have an EX luck.
Yes.
Everything works. For me. It's a 0.
I walk up to him and I say, "We have come, brother."
He turns and he's like, I gotta get the accent. It does not look like you have really come here. Are you physically here? Just look at your hands. Look at yourself. And you look and you see that you're not there. Like, you can't see your hands. You can't see any of that. So you're like, you're mentally here, but you're not physically.
But we have this,
spiritually
and then I show, because this is mine, I showed the letter.
Yeah.
And I conjure it up.
Yeah.
We have this, brother.
What is his hands like?
He's like,
This
I
is
do
the
not,
mind. I can do
I do
anything.
not know exactly what this is, but I do believe that fate has drawn you here. Few
Yes.
can find me in these hills. You see, but I guess it was the breath of the wild that led you.
That's not even the right song.
May I call
that was
you-
completely incorrect. That was completely incorrect.
May I ask what your name is?
Guru.
You can call me.
Guru, this secret super villain. Kyle, where are you?
You can call me Dramoth the Wise.
Dream of the Wise.
And you actually know this.
Do I?
You don't know this guy, but you've heard of him. Like, you've heard tales of this guy.
So,
I've heard of you.
He's
with,
like a
so
legend hermit.
we're in like this mindscape area, right? I've never been there before ever. I don't have my hands, so physically I can't I can't.
You feel very disoriented.
I lack the things that I use for most of my life, like painting.
Like also, no, it's not just that you don't have your hands. It's like that you're completely invisible to yourself. Like you don't have any physical.
Do I see anything?
You see it, yeah. You see like a cliff with
So
the
it's
sunset
our-
that's actually existent in real life, and him.
I commit this site to memory.
Cool.
I draw it in the landscape of my mind.
So it's our magical form, basically. Our
spiritual form, ethereal
Yeah,
form.
ethereal form. That's a good word.
Is it ethereal or ethereal?
what does? Okay, so what do I look like then? Just
You
invisible.
cannot see yourself.
You are a floating bald
Yeah.
head.
No, you don't even have a head. It's just like you're just kind of there in
So,
mind.
like
Like you feel
a
yourself
spirit,
being
a spirit,
there.
right?
But yeah, exactly.
Spirits.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dramoth, I assume you've meditated in. What's it called again?
I'm just like silent.
Hermiton before.
Like I'm just silent, like taking the landscape. I'm kind of paying attention, but not really. Just so.
Okay.
He's like, I have not meditated, or voice. I have not meditated in Hermiton, but I know of the place. It is very close to here in the physical realm.
Yes, in the physical realm. However, do you know what happened there?
What happened? I do not know.
What-
I've been here in this realm.
What happened to the hermits
Quite
in
a bit of
Hermiton? What happened to the hermits in Hermiton?
I don't know. I do not speak to them very often. I've been meditating here for, it seems like a year. I cannot keep a track of time.
Ah.
How is fear growing in this area?
Oh, most definitely.
Do
You
you
see-
hear of the eye blinking?
I know exactly what you speak of, and there are two options in which this realm will be plunged. One is that the Starlight Dynasty that is in power, was in power in the past. I don't know if they're still in power,
It's the letter.
but I believe that this.
Yeah?
I believe that the
We have the same
Starlight.
letter.
Yeah, we do now.
I believe that the Starlight Dynasty is going to seize power again. It seems like their fear is growing strong within the people, and they are going to use this to gain power. And if they gain power, that will move forward towards what they are trying to preach against. And so because of that, the Verban Dynasty has to stay in power, no matter what. We need to keep them in power.
This
or
guy's a
else-
brother as well then.
Or else we will...
The Starlight Dynasty?
The Starlight Dynasty are the bad dudes. that
Oh.
Are really bad. And they're the guys with the waning eye.
Oh,
Those
I was confused. I forgot
dudes.
everything.
So basically, this guy's a brother to us.
Yes.
in spirit,
Kind of.
in spirit,
Kind
maybe not in form.
But if he came back to the physical realm, we would realize that he would basically be one of us.
Maybe.
Maybe. Fine.
He's like you can ask about that if you want.
Yes, I would like to ask about it.
What do you say exactly?
Like, you must be a brother to us then, for we were sent by someone.
Are
That
you
is
part
not
of the,
you.
Are you part of the Brethren?
The bread. I do not know of such people.
Thank you.
Would you call yourself wise?
Oh yeah. Well, I would not. I do not think of myself greatly, but others. I've been called Dreymoth the Wise. That is my
Yes.
title.
What does this letter mean exactly? I present him like the embodiment of the letter. As it just for my mind has little nice flourishes.
It has brought us to you.
Artistic flourishes on the sides.
It has brought us to
How
you.
could you?
It came
How
on.
do you not know what this means when you wrote it?
I did not write this.
Strange.
We it came to us on the wind, not on high.
It came from us to the king. We received it near the King of Limbs.
Yeah, yeah.
On top of the King of Limbs, to
Oh,
be exact.
King of Limbs, yes.
I'd assume you know where that is.
Yes.
What is the King of Limbs actually?
My winds blow strong there.
Your winds blow strong. It is what brought us here.
Mm-hmm.
You are the wind that howls in which we were brought here.
The King of Limbs is the source of life. The King of Limbs, I've been there many times in this realm, and it seems to draw people there. No matter where you come from or where you're going, you will find the King of Limbs.
A place where destiny meets.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Well, as I was saying earlier, either the Starlit Dynasty takes over for the Verban Dynasty when the Verban Dynasty
Which must not
loses
happen.
power to them. Either that happens, which is very bad, or the people will take over and take power
Communism.
under some new dynasty. I'm not sure what, but
So it can go three ways. Either
or they stay in power. But
Verban, Starlight people.
yes, and the Verban Dynasty, I think, if they don't stay in power, then our future is.
How exactly are the people coming in power a bad thing?
Well, it will move forward.
Don't steal myself.
Not that. I meant the letter.
You see, time itself has its way of change and moving forward, and the Verban Dynasty is among the last points in that change before things stop changing.
Okay. Understood.
You see, the Waning Eye of Virel is not wrong. The Starlit Dynasty, they have a reason to fear, for their tomes of foresight tell them exactly what is going to happen in the end. But they try to drop fear for power. They're being selfish about it. They're not doing anything for the right reasons, I guess you could say.
Dreymoth, would you join us in finding more of which we speak of?
Sorry, I am committed to this realm. I cannot sustain myself if I leave.
It is okay.
My body will crumble.
It is okay, for I understand such things. But may you please tell us where these letters come from, if possible.
I do not know.
But you know that this was written by him.
Well, yes,
I did not write.
it's linked to your soul.
I take it out again. I just
This was too. They were both linked to you.
to me. Oh, my chair was going I just like stare in silence.
Tell me what you think about...
And I look at him with like a very furrowed brow. Like I do not know what's going on.
Tell me what you think about time.
Like I know this. I know what this is. It's my letter, but I don't know what this means.
Time is all but a day. We look and we see it only in the middle. We see the sun directly above,
Just like Yera.
but we don't know what will happen when the night drops.
Where do we go next? What should we do from here?
We'll do what you can to keep the Verban Dynasty in power. If you don't, then it'll fall. It'll crumble.
Understood. Understood, good friend.
Do any of you have any power or anything that you could draw from in order to have influence?
I draw from Yera. Will she be of help?
Perhaps.
I just so an idea comes to mind, but I quickly bury it away like that. That's not gonna happen again.
Can we say
Perhaps
That old goose.
Perhaps you could seek refuge in the Keepers of the Windwall. Our numbers are few, but we wish to help those who care about the future.
Understood.
is that our best bet at this point, Dreama?
I don't know at this point. I am fading away. Soon I will fall off the edge of this cliff as night draws and stars.
Could I push you back? I am able to match my wins with yours. Could I? Would I perhaps be able to push you back a bit farther, or is that not your wish? Do you wish to have your time to come to an end, or do you wish for your time to last just a little longer?
Everything must come to an end at some point.
I understand.
I believe that this conversation with you might be my destiny, might be my final stand. I don't have any purpose in this world after this.
Well, then I am glad to make your destiny come to an end.
Thank you.
It is an honor to meet you, and I say this, and I just
he lifts out his hand, and then you shake, and you can see your hand a little bit.
cool, and then
it moves away, and your hand stays there.
at that point I draw my breath in, and I wake up, and I stop blowing.
It was a pleasure
And you can
to
just
meet you.
yes, and
as well.
he does the same. Your hand kind of becomes a little more visible, and then he falls off the cliff, and the in your minds the sky goes dark.
We awaken from our stance.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you can see that he's gone. The winds have stopped blowing, and he's disappeared.
So as Jen comes to awake, I'm looking at the letter, and I'm trying to understand, but I'm trying to understand what he means by soul, and what does this do with my soul. So he said I wrote the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to do with relativity crap.
Relativity, time travel.
Relativity crap.
I am Darthalau, whatever his name was.
If this has to do with relativity stuff, and basically his future self lives in a reality that was not good, and the Starlight Dynasty took over, I'd be very surprised.
That'd be really cool, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. We don't know. Well, we obviously know that
You
this
finally
came
wake.
from you.
Well,
Sorry, no, I interrupted you.
you finally wake, friend. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just I just stand up from my spot where I'm sitting.
Oh, so you slept there?
I woke up before him.
Yeah, I see.
So it's like a playful good morning.
Oh, I see.
You've been asleep for a long time.
It does seem to be completely night at this point. Like the stars are above, and there's the moon is still at the edge of the sky, but it's there.
Okay.
What is our reputation with Dreameth?
He's dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't need to put a reputation. Actually, maybe +4.
Reputation.
Just in case
Dead.
he comes back.
Reputation dead.
It's like
Maybe he only exists in the spirit realm. Maybe.
Dreama?
Who knows?
Yeah.
So
that's
+4.
that's what I'm thinking. He's
And-
probably he
Both
may
of us?
not be with us physically, but
Both of us.
Maybe in your minds.
yeah, exactly.
So that's +4 out of 4. I'm just amazing. But so where do we go from here?
We need to find where. We need to go to the Winter Wind White. The Windwell, not
I
the
think-
Whites.
I think we should go. We should go to the springs.
The Springs.
Maybe
Why would we go there?
maybe they know what happened to the hermits.
Ah, yes, indeed. But before that,
I agree with you that we should go to the winter walls. But
Winter Wind Wells.
but the area that is closer to us is definitely the springs.
Ah, yes. And also, I wouldn't want to talk to that creature again. For if he is evil,
I would rather swim in the ocean than talk to that buffoon again.
I as well. But before that,
Should we rest here?
indeed. But before that, would you care for a meal? And at this point, I draw a rambutan.
What's a ramble?
Oh yes.
Wait, what's happening? Put on some cooking music. Hey.
At this point, I show him this. Would you care for one?
I've never seen this before. I carefully grab it, but are those spiky?
Yeah.
No.
Not really. Like they're not spiky, but
they're not spiky, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so
They're not gonna bring you harm.
I grab one, it's like,
it is a weird texture for sure.
I see it, I grab it from the fruit part. Is it open or is it closed?
It is closed.
Like, I grab,
I teach you how to open it, however.
Okay, cool.
It's so weird.
What the heck? What is this? How to eat a Mulan? We enjoy it and all that.
So where do you draw your magic from?
I point to the world around him. I draw power from the earth itself.
Ah. That's nice.
Everything has a meaning, from the tiniest flower to the biggest lion, to even an insignificant speck. They are all important in some way.
That is deer.
This deer.
No, what you have said was deer.
I'm someone who's always been connected to the land ever since. I've always been drawn to it.
Ah.
I guess that's why I.
Do I know that he paints and he's an artist?
I guess that's why I'm.
Would you? No, I don't think you would.
But in the spirit realm, would I have figured it out at some point?
I guess.
Sure. You could actually just roll like retrocausally. You could roll.
I guess.
Street fight.
I guess that's why it means so much to me. I just stop talking. I just breathe in the landscape.
5. So do I know he's an artist?
You'd know that he's an artist. Yeah, that's.
It is no wonder that you look at the world with such beauty. It would be amazing to see one of your works of art one day. And at that point, I slumber.
I go sleep. It's
beautiful.
I just supposed to be like.
At this point, I fall asleep as where I am.
I
Sitting, of course.
I just whisper to myself, you'd be the only one, and I also just doze off.
Cool.
Longing for the chance when I can go back to that spirit realm.
Oh yes. Cool.
And it is now morning.
Session
Yeah,
1 over,
so
guys.
you like lay back and you like look up at the stars as they seem to, as time seems to.
As you
speed
wake up, your arm is cut off.
Yeah, like time seems to like speed up almost. Like you can see the stars almost moving across the sky.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm going to end off episode 2 of The Stain on His Hide. Tune in next time to see where these two adventurers go in this strange world. What is the spirit world they fell into? And are they able to save the world from its inevitable doom? Find out next time on The Stain on His Hide. Farewell.